Hey, what's up everyone? Tim here from Everyday Tactical Vids, and today we're talking about this, which is the Riftblade backpack from Maxpedition. So what I'm going to do in this video is talk through some of the details on the pack, and then I'm going to share with you utilizing this backpack as a travel bag as I went from Boston down to Richmond, Virginia, and then I drove a truck back. So flying with it, actually riding on the bus with it for a bit, using it as just my bag for the general travel experience. And then also I'm going to share with you just about the capacity of the bag. This is a bag that I've used to just haul stuff around. And so what I'm going to do is just throw a ton of gear in the bag to show you how much it can actually carry. So I want to let you know I recently finished my review of the Riftpoint backpack, which is a smaller version of this bag, and I'll put a link to that video at the end of this video. But let's readjust the camera and we'll talk through some of the details on the pack, and then I'm going to share with you some of that real life experience having used this pack as a travel bag. The Riftblade backpack, all right, here are some of your details. It is a 30-liter pack. Your overall size is 11 by 11 by 19. The front top pocket that you're looking at there is 4 by 2 by 8.5. The front lower pocket is 9.75 by 2 by 11. There's a middle compartment that's 10 by 3 by 18.5, and then there's the main compartment, which is 11 by 5 by 19. It is CCW compatible, so you should know about that. And the weight with nothing in the pack is 4.1 pounds. We'll start off and talk about this lower outside pocket. You can see it's got the laser cut molle on the outside, very strong stitching in the corners, and then you can see at those 6 points as well. And then obviously, just overall, the stitching is going to be really good. I've never had any of this laser cut molle, even when I've attached gear to it, tear off or have any issues whatsoever. You can also see the honeycomb material that's just going to give extra strength and durability to the pack. You can see the zip goes almost the whole way around, so 3/4 of the way. Open it up. High-vis gray on inside, which has become standard for Maxpedition. You got a key lanyard, you've got a large pocket, a smaller pocket, and then things for like pens, maybe a fire steel, things of that size. And then you can see down here on this section, which is upside down to you, but it's basically a honeycomb pocket with a zipper here, and the material you can see through. So it's not totally clear, but it's enough to see through and see what's actually in the pocket. And then, but it's still very durable, basically. So that's that front pocket. Then we'll talk about the upper pocket here. I'll just unzip this for you. So this one's got a little bit more structure. This one's a little bit maybe softer. This one's got a little bit more structure just because of the material. But open it up inside. Again, the high vis, and then a little pocket here to store materials, pens, pencils, whatever you want in the upper pocket. I often use this to store, like in the Riftpoint, I use that to store a headlamp so I had quick access to it. I just find that's an easy pocket to, it's smaller, so it keeps a couple core pieces of gear in there: phone, headlamp, pen, pencils, paper, that type of stuff. So there's those two pockets. Let's go to the next level in. All right, the next level down, we open this up and you can see a huge hook and loop field here. You can put patches, you can attach other gear, anything that has hook and loop, obviously, to organize gear here. It's soft, so you can certainly put a laptop or something else in this section. And then I'll just turn this around real quick. And you can see let's see here. There you go. Same thing on the back side as well. As you can see, tons of open space, not a ton of pockets in here, but you've got some pockets for smaller organization on the outside, and then just a larger section just to throw gear into. So that's level 2 of your pockets. Let's get into the largest pocket on the bag now. All right, we're into the main section of the bag here. You can see again that high vis material, so it's easy to see. You got a large pocket here. You could store a smaller laptop in there, and then also obviously with this, you can tell you can run a hydration bladder inside there. So not a ton of organization other than this pocket. Again, good to just put clothes, other large materials, or other large items in here. This is where I stored my clothes when I was actually traveling with the bag. Now we're going to spin it around and look at the back section of this pocket. All right, so here's the other side. You can see up top, we have a zipper pocket. This is not the honeycomb material, but again, a small pocket to store cords, things like that. You do have the honeycomb material here with a pass-through, so you can access things from either side. This reminds me of their tech bag, and so you could put a tablet in there. You can put obviously whatever you want in there, but you can access it from the right side or the left side of the pocket. That's really, I don't know if it's important, but it's a good feature, because if you swing the bag on from your carrying it on 2 shoulders to your right or left side, and you want to get in here, you can access that either way. It's not like you swing it to the other side and then you're trying to open it from the bottom. You can open it from either angle depending on how you've swung it around to your front. Looking at the side of the pack here, you can see again we have the laser cut MOLLE to attach items if you want to. We also have these compression straps, and these straps are not just for compressing the bag, but also if you want to put something like, you know, for me it's like a tripod that I would put for camera gear in here, and then click this, and I can cinch it down and carry the gear. I want to note here that all the webbing is made of very strong material, but it's got the feel of a seatbelt, so it's not going to cut into your skin and be uncomfortable. And this is always a big thing for me on any pack, is to have these little retention bands so that the extra webbing is not flopping all over the place. So you got that on the lower and the upper portion as well. And then let me just turn this slightly and unzip this. This is your concealed carry compartment. So you've got hook and loop, a little bit hard to see in the dark there, but hook and loop inside, and you can access this from both the right and the left-hand side of the bag. So you got the, you know, if you have a CCW going on, it's right up against your back. It's not like anybody else has access to it. Looking at the back of the pack, you can see we've got the Yoke System. Really nice contours on the straps, very comfortable. Good amount of padding. You've got some more webbing here, so you can attach something to carry maybe a cell phone or some small pieces of gear in a pouch. You have a sternum strap here, which I actually used quite a bit when I was traveling with this. And then you have the buckles down here, and these are QD. So if you want to get the pack off really quickly, just pop those and the pack comes off. And then you can see here, one thing I've enjoyed on the Maxpedition packs I've used is the padding. It's a lot of padding, so it's very comfortable to use. You do have a waist strap down on the bottom, so there and there obviously, and then more padding that's going to go right on the small of your back. And then up here, padding and then cutouts for airflow. All right, let me talk through some real world application of this bag. So I took my car to the bus station, the bus to the airport, flew from Boston down to Richmond, and then drove back in a truck. I was actually getting some chairs for a new church building that we're opening up in like just a couple weeks here. But anyhow, so I use this as my travel bag. It's small enough you can use it as a carry-on. I was actually able to check this bag because there were so many people with carry-ons. I thought, yeah, well, let's check it and see how it, you know, how it travels, if it gets beat up or anything. And it was fine. You can see it looks pretty much like it's brand new, even though I've used it quite a bit. So I fit all my clothes in here, all my toiletries, my laptop. I brought the laptop. I didn't have that going to the plane, but laptop, you know, headphones, all those types of things. And it worked great. There's plenty of room in this bag. I mean, I used it for basically flying down and then driving back the next day. And I would say you could probably use this for 2 or 3 days solid, maybe even more, depending on how you pack. This would be a bag that I would use at something like SHOT Show or Blade Show if I was carried around camera gear all day long, you know, water, food, snacks, that type of thing. So it just got a lot of capacity. The Yoke System I like a lot, very comfortable. The whole thing rides nicely. I like, because of the size of the pack, because it is 30 liters, that they do include the sternum strap and the waist strap as well. It allows it to ride more comfortably when you do have it fully loaded down. I also like the mix here. I tend to be a guy who likes a lot of organizational pockets in a bag. This one gives you a nice mix of pockets and organization in some sections, and then other sections just kind of open that you can just throw things into. So I'm going to look into some of the Maxpedition Velcro organizers so that I can get some of those and then put it in the center section that has all that basically that huge hook and loop field on both sides of the pack, just to see what that's like, kind of organize my gear that way. But yeah, I use it as my travel bag. It worked great. This is the type of thing I would continue to use in the future as a you know, a grab bag, a travel bag that I can just grab, load some stuff in, and go. I've mentioned this about other Maxpedition bags, but I do like the handle at the top here. When I first saw the handles when they came out, I'm like, they're going to be really small and uncomfortable, but because they use similar material to, or the same material as these, this portion of the webbing, it's smooth, and so it's nice to have a handle there to grab onto. I would say that the compression straps are another nice addition right there and there, just because it allows you to kind of smush the pack down when you're not using all the capacity of the bag. Now what I want to do here is roll in footage of me unloading gear out of the bag, and I'm going to do it in time lapse just because it could take quite a while to show you all the gear, but this thing just holds a ton of gear. So if you're thinking about maybe making a larger bug out bag or emergency bag, this is a bag I would definitely consider. The overall quality is really good, and then just a lot of capacity and the additional organization as well. I would not use this bag as an everyday carry bag just because it's got too much capacity for me. That would encourage me to carry just an excessive amount of gear that I really don't need. So yeah, if I was going to do maybe, you know, a lightweight overnight, you could probably even do an overnight in the winter if you packed properly and really crammed your gear in. It's gonna be a little bit tough, but yeah, there's a good amount of capacity with it. So you could use this in the summertime for multi-day excursions, and then in the wintertime for a little bit shorter amount of time. But as you can see, I mean, you could just store a ton of gear in this. Carries a lot of stuff. You could put stuff on the outside. You can organize it on the inside. Using this bag like a travel bag is not really quote unquote like sexy. It's not a bug out bag, not an emergency bag, survival bag, but real life application. You know, Everyday Tactical Vids is about trying to be a little bit more tactical, meaning gaining an advantage in everyday life. And so give me good gear, give me quality training so I can just have a little step up in everyday life. That's what this channel is all about. It's not just about emergency situations. So using this as a travel bag, it works. It works really well. I can definitely see myself going back to this one again and again. I used a bag similar to this. I want to say it was the Tiburon, if I remember correctly, at Blade Show. That was weird. At Blade Show 2017. But I would use this one over the other bag. I like the other bag, but I like this one even more. Again, we've been looking at the Riftblade from Maxpedition. Bag has worked well for me. I'm going to continue to use it more in the future. And in the meantime, let's hear your thoughts on the bag and maybe on Maxpedition as a whole. What do you have? What do you like? Usually when I post Maxpedition videos, people say, oh, I've got this bag and I've used it for a while and here's the features I really like about it. So let's hear your thoughts on Maxpedition. And certainly, you know, if you're like, I had a Maxpedition bag and it didn't work for me, let's hear that as well. That'll help us get the discussion started in the comment section. And I can tell you that Maxpedition does go back and check out the videos, and so they can see, oh, people like this about the bag, they don't like this, and they can kind of compare and you know, compare the positives and the negatives and make changes into the future development of their bags. All right, guys, thanks for watching. As always, please subscribe to Everyday Tactical Vids here on YouTube if you haven't done so already. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, check us out on Instagram, Tumblr, and Vero as well. More videos coming soon. Take care.